George Kirby and the Piggyback Boys will have their hands full against a D-backs lineup that's been rolling.
Jake Garcia taking a subtle shot at the Mariners and their piggyback pitching concept. When we went to break, you saw a picture of Jake and Chris back in the day, as Jake says, kind of flexing for the camera while they're doing their job. You take a look at these guys, these young studs at the stadium running out there together. And let's bring him in from Arizona, one of our favorite former colleagues here at King 5, Jake Garcia. Jake, how you doing, man?
Doing great. Good to see both of you. Chris, those were simpler times when we were pictured there in New Orleans. That was before I had hip surgery. That was before I had back pain every day waking up. But good times, and I look back so fondly at those memories. Excited to talk with you guys today.
Hey, I'm kind of giving tips here. You start taking some collagen in the morning. That will kind of help ease the pain of some of those joints and the bones as well.
Dude, he's so much younger than us.
I know. Why is he hurting? Jake, you mentioned the Piggyback Boys. It's nice to see that it's trending down in the Phoenix area as well. Let us begin there, and let me show you this picture, which surfaced on Instagram earlier today. Obviously, this is the work of AI, but that's what's happening, Jake, in Seattle. You can see Bryce Miller on Castillo's back. What do you make of this from the outside? We've given our thoughts here in Seattle. I mean, you look at those pictures, they're all pretty dominating. What do you make of the piggyback situation?
I kind of love it. I mean, the team that invented this concept, the Tampa Bay Rays, first place in the AL East right now. So I don't think it's a bad thing that the Mariners are kind of, taking a page out of their playbook. Look, the Mariners have an embarrassment of riches right now. When you have Bryce Miller, whose stuff since coming back from injury has been just insane. When you're getting results like that, like, why is there a need and a rush to change things all of a sudden? And yes, maybe the answer is because both Luis Castillo and Bryce Miller are ticked off about this whole situation. But I think this gives the Mariners right now the best chance to win. This saves their bullpen a little bit. Starting pitching in Major League Baseball right now is so fickle and so injury prone. It's only a matter of time before one of these guys, let's hope it's not a serious injury, but goes down with some sort of bump or bruise. To have both of these guys stretched out and able to slot as a full-time starter in your rotation, I love it right now. And I know it's caused a lot of controversy up there, but from my vantage point down here in Arizona, I think they should keep doing it.
You know, sometimes, Paul, it's just nice to bring in a voice from outside the Seattle area to kind of give us some reason like that.
Listen, it's not sustainable. Yes, I agree with you, Jake. We've talked about it. The starting rotation, there's going to be injuries that are just unavoidable in a long season of baseball, but we'll see what happens with this team. Let's talk about this matchup with the D-backs, because your guys are coming to town, winning 10 of their last 11, playing some awfully good baseball.
Yeah, no doubt. And they're really doing it against the worst of the worst in the NL West. The schedule really opened up for the D-backs lately. They got a couple games against the Rockies, then against the Giants, and they're coming off a sweep of the Giants. The way you guys talked about the series that the Mariners just got done with the A's, I saw a lot of those similarities in the latest D-backs-Giants series. One team was doing the fundamentally sound things that you need to do to win baseball games. The other team looked like they didn't even want to be there. And that's a big reason why the Diamondbacks have really rounded into form right now. They started this 10-13 game slate against the Rockies and the Giants, 2 games below 500. You look now, they've won 10 and 11, 7 games over 500. They are beating up on bad competition, and it gets a lot harder with the upcoming schedule. The Mariners, and then after that, they have to face the Dodgers. So we'll get a true sense of where the D-backs are really at here in these coming days. But right now, they're beating the teams that they're supposed to beat, and you can't fault them for that.
All three of us love great stories. We love storylines. There's going to be one. It's not going to be his first time playing in Seattle, but Lakeside High's Corbin Carroll returns. We saw J.R. Ritchie earlier this season. Jake pitched for the Atlanta Braves. He was from Bainbridge Island. But just kind of tell us what Corbin Carroll has meant to this team, and he is definitely one of the young rising stars of Major League Baseball right now.
Yeah, no doubt. Like top 3 in the entire MLB in WAR, He's fast as heck. He hits for power. He plays great defense. Ever since he was called up with the D-backs a few years ago, he's been everything that this franchise hoped he could be. And it's incredibly important when you have a team like the Diamondbacks who is not going to go out and spend top dollar like the Yankees and the Mets. When you have a homegrown guy like Corbin Carroll really blossom into the star that he's become, it can pay huge dividends for a franchise like the Diamondbacks. This guy is a freak, guys. He's under 5'11", and yet hits the ball like he's Aaron Judge or Giancarlo Stanton. He hits a ball in the gap, gets pelted on the back of the head without a helmet, and gets up like it's nothing and finishes off the Little League home run. He's truly built different. He's meant so much to this D-backs organization, and it's all the more impressive when you kind of look at it in the framework of he broke his hamate bone at the start of spring training. Doctor said there was no way he was going to be ready for opening day. He looked at that challenge and said, I'm Corbin Carroll. I beat every injury projection that I've ever faced. He was back a few days before opening day getting some reps in spring training, and he hasn't suffered at all. You see guys come back from this hamate bone injury all the time, and their power isn't what it typically is, and it takes them a while to get back. He hasn't missed a step, and he, along with former Mariner Ketel Marte, have really been at the center of this D-back surge.
Yeah, way to lead me into the next question for you, man. Ketel, as you mentioned, a former Mariner, was involved in a trade earlier on in his career, and he has just blossomed down there. And right now, I didn't even realize Ketel had that kind of power, but he is crushing the baseball.
Yeah, I tuned into the show yesterday, and I saw you guys kind of got some education on the stat of BABIP. Well, here's another one for you guys right now. How about xWOBA? Expected weighted on-base average. What does that mean? It means this is the stat that really exemplifies what you deserve. So if you hit a line drive right at a center fielder, your batting average isn't going to reflect that you just put a really good swing on the baseball. But xWOBA does quantify that at-bat that you just had. And so Ketel was having a lot of those examples early on in the season. He was crushing the baseball, and yet he was getting nothing to show for it. Well, as of late, he's had everything to show for it. The reigning National League Player of the Week. You can see the batting average right around 270. Before this whole stretch with the Giants and Rockies, he was batting like 209. So he is just taken off lately. And again, I said this yesterday in the little package that I sent you guys here from Arizona. Dan Wilson should be a lot smarter than Tony Vitello was. Vitello, this is now the second time that he's put a left-handed reliever into the game to face Marte. I guess he didn't realize that Marte's a switch hitter, and when he flips around to the right-handed side, he sends one to the moon. And that's exactly what he did against the Giants. At nighttime, it was about 4 or 5 rows down from the top row in left field. It was an impressive display of power. And for Marte, this is really different than the guy he was with the Mariners. This was kind of a slap hitter, a get-on-base, gap-to-gap type guy, and now every year he's challenging for 30 home runs.
Jake, I'm always learning. What was the name of that stat again one more time?
That would be xWOBA, Chris.
xWOBA.
You have to spell that for Chris.
I got to write that out. I do have one for you both. I call it D-Lotta and D-Lag. I don't know if you have heard of these. D-Lotta is dressed like a TV anchor. D-Lag is dressed like a golfer. I'm D-Lotta. You boys are both D-Lag today. Let's get to the pitching staff. We know how good the Mariners are. Jake, what are the Mariners' offense going to be facing this weekend in Seattle?
Well, thankfully for them, no left-handed starting pitcher. You can see it on your screen right there. Zach Gallen, Ryan Nelson, and Merrill Kelly, 3 right-handed pitchers. Gallen and Kelly have kind of taken a while to, I guess, come online this year. Nelson has struggled as well, but the underlying numbers, and I won't bore you with the stats that I look at for starting pitchers, but Nelson's kind of been locked in all year, despite what the surface stats will tell you. Look, for the D-backs right now, their starting pitching at the start of the year was abysmal. And it really kind of took off when Torey Lovullo told us in the media that he had a sit-down, I guess a 5-on-1 conversation with his entire starting rotation where he called them into his office and said, look, what you're putting out right there, the product that you're putting out right now on the field is not good enough. We expect more from you guys. We need more from you guys because the bullpen of this team is not our strength. We need starting pitching to go 5, 6, maybe even 7 innings. And before that meeting, the D-backs weren't coming anywhere close to that. After that meeting, it's been quality start central from these guys. Kelly has looked a lot better. Nelson's finally, I guess, regressed closer to what the stats say he deserves. Gallen says Gallen's been closer to the guy that we come to expect with him. And then 2 guys you won't see in this series, Michael Soroka and Eduardo Rodriguez, that have been just as good.
Going to be a fun series. Great breakdown. Can't wait for it. Game 1 on Friday. By the way, you can watch that game on King 5 TV. Pre-game show starts at 6:30. Going to be fun. Jake, we miss you a lot here in Seattle. It's great to see you are doing awesome in Arizona. Just hitting it out of the park there. But I'm not sure if you've heard since you've left Seattle, Jake, the Seahawks ended up winning the Super Bowl after you left. They even had a big parade in Seattle. Take a look at this. Our own Paul Sylvie was a big star, Jake, at the parade. Paul was coming down Main Street. Everybody wanted to chat with Paul. I just got to ask, Jake, did you see any of this parade coverage? And have you been to any parades in Arizona since you left us celebrating the Cardinals team at all?
I actually chose to not tune into any of the coverage of it because I was so sad to have missed something like that. It's not all, sunshine and roses for you guys, because I do notice that the guy Paul was talking to at the start there, Enrique Woolen, he's no longer with the team.
Sure.
So, but I also understand that, that comes with the embarrassment of riches that you have on the defensive side. And right now that is something the Cardinals could not be further from. It's tough down here. The NFL product is it's tough to watch because I don't think anyone here is expecting more than 3 or 4 wins this year.
Well, you segued me perfect again. I mean, that's why you're professional, Jake. I do have one more question about your Cardinals, and I want you to fill me in. Kyler Murray is gone, but I have heard through the grapevine that you guys picked up someone named Bissett as your quarterback. Now, we know Josie Bissett, great actress. She is from the Seattle area. She was awesome in the show Melrose Place, guys. I am happily married, but I did have a crush on Josie back in the day. She was the only reason I actually watched Melrose Place. But, Jake, I was not aware she could also play quarterback, or am I mixing Josie up with another Bissett down there in Arizona?
I couldn't tell you, honestly. I'm too young to even know who that is on the screen right now. So I'll let you have your jokes, but I guess the Cardinals continue to be the butt of all the jokes because you're, of course, referring to Jacoby Brissett.
Oh,
he was the team starting quarterback. Yeah, but here's the worst part of all. This guy won 1 game with the Cardinals last year, and now he's not reporting to OTAs because he wants a raise. Look, I'm all for people getting their money and getting the bag because I think I would do the same in their situation. But it is just yet another example of the Cardinals not being able to have nice things at all when their 1-9, 1-10 quarterback is telling them, you guys are too cheap. I want a raise because I'm this team starter. So right now at OTAs, we're looking at a combination of Gardner Minshew, Carson Beck, and Keaton Slovis, who I guess is our version of a local product who's made it good in the NFL. But Slovis is going to be the 3rd string. There's Minshew right there. It's Minshew's personality is great, and I know you guys know it well, just given his time at Washington State. But I don't think you can personality your way to double-digit wins in a playoff spot, sadly.
Yeah, you know what? We all love that guy. Talking to him, he's just entertaining. He's got great sound bites. He's just great with the media. He gets it. But we all want him to take it to another level, Jake, and be that guy. And I just don't know if it's in his DNA. But, man, he sure is a great backup and an entertaining one at that.
No doubt. We talked to him a few days ago about his RV situation. This has been well documented from his time with previous organizations, but he's done road trips in his RV during the offseason, and his current situation is that he drives it every single day to practice, which has endeared him to his teammates. So hopefully that at least counts for something.
I love it.
He drives it to practice.
He does.
Oh,
yes.
Man, that's good stuff. All right, Jake. Always good to catch up with you, my man. Thanks for coming on and sharing all the wealth of knowledge from Arizona.
Great to talk to you guys. Keep on doing great work in Seattle.
All right. We'll see you soon, man.